So my name is Ines, and I'm a survivor of Waldenstrom's macroglobulinemia. And yeah, I have fun with ABC in a lot of different programs. And what I learned, I remember in one of the previous classes when I came in person, Teresa showed us different techniques of cutting fruits and vegetables, and that was new for me.
Nice.
We're going to use those skills again tonight, Ines.
So Ines talked about learning cutting skills in kitchen class. And Ines, have your friend introduce herself as well that's cooking with you from home.
Hello, my name is Injara, and I am just a friend and supporting Ines. I'm not affected by cancer personally, but I do have I lost family members to the cancer, so I just like to support that when I can. I guess we're cooking today from my home, and we'll see how that goes. I'm excited. This is my first class via Zoom, so I always like to do something new. Nice to meet you all, and I know some people already.
Yeah, good to see you.
Well, we love that you're here, and trying something new is so important. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, getting out of our comfort zone. Maybe it's not even getting out of our comfort zone, but taking on a new horizons. That's a good, healthy thing to do. All right. Since Lori here, Graf is our registered dietitian that we partner with for the nutrition and cooking classes. Lori and Graf and I have known each other now for, gosh, it's probably going on 13, 14 years. And it didn't take me long after I met her that I thought this woman is brilliant. And we got a partner on a lot of different programming. So Lori is going to be sharing things about related to this recipe and why they're good for us. And she's also available for you to ask questions as it's regarded to nutrition. Lori, anything you want to start off saying tonight before we get into class?
Super excited about this recipe. It just has tons of nutritious food and variety of nutrients, and I bet this recipe will be a keeper.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Lori. Okay, we're going to go to our friends here. You guys feel free to sit right here in the front. The Three Musketeers with Lynn. Hi. And so we're introducing our first name. And if you've taken a cooking class before, which Lynn has, and Katie has, a nugget that you've gotten from a prior cooking class. And then the three of you who are new tonight, welcome. Something you're looking forward to for cooking class. So Lynn, we'll start with you.
Hi, I'm Lynn Mankins, and I probably came to a cooking class 4 years ago when they started.
You did.
So, I always learned some good nuggets of cooking and nutrition. One is to never buy jarred pesto again because it's very easy to make your own, and raised cauliflower. Never buy frozen bagged cauliflower because it's very easy to make. So, and that along with just lots of other spices and great nutrition tips.
I love that. I remember when we made the pesto, and I remember you saying, "Oh, I'm not going to buy mine from Costco anymore."
That's right, and I
distinctly
don't.
remember that.
Pretty good pesto.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, you just hush. You just hush. Yeah. Thanks, Lynn. Katie, I'm going to bounce over to you.
Oh,
Since you've
sure.
taken cooking class before.
Yeah. I'm Katie, and I signed up for this one because I can't remember, was it Moroccan or it was
It's
a lentil fan, and I
Yeah.
didn't know it, and so I'm excited to be exposed to a new recipe tonight. So
Yeah.
Katie and I worked on some mashed potatoes
yes, that's
a
right.
few weeks ago, and I was like, oh my God, those mashed potatoes were so good.
Yeah, my
There you
family
go.
devoured
Potatoes,
them.
butter, garlic.
Right.
How can you go wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the first time Katie came to a cooking class was when Teresa was doing fish tacos on my
that's
deck.
right. That was super
And
good.
oh my gosh, they were amazing fish tacos. That was.
And I'm not a griller, so stuff was falling through the.
I think I found some fish pieces, a few months later, but it was all fine. All right, Jillian, you want to go next?
Sure. Am I introducing myself
Yep.
to our
All of us. Yeah.
Zoom friends?
Yeah.
I'm Jillian. I was invited here by Mary. She's been training me for years.
Years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Poor thing.
I hear about these events. I've always wanted to come, and I got an invite this time. I'm so excited to be here. I guess I look forward to learning how to say the name of what we're cooking?
I don't even know how to say it.
You say potato, I'll say potato. Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm sure that I will be impressed by anything that we do.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Jillian.
Thank you.
I'm Vanessa, and I was invited here from the lovely Jillian. I've never taken a cooking class, but I love to cook, so I'm very excited just to learn something new, just to integrate it into my
Your
cooking style.
response, you were so just into it as soon as I brought it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
great.
Yes.
Well, we're glad you're here, Vanessa.
Thank you.
And just a little heads up, Teresa does other cooking classes here at Kitchen Collage. And of course, Above Young Cancer does about 8 to 9 a year. So, yeah.
Well, I was also Laura. I was also invited by Jillian, and I became a vegetarian right before the pandemic hit, and it's been a really amazing journey. And I've been doing a lot of cooking at home, like a lot of people have. And so I grew up with lentils because my mom's a granola head. But you always want to elevate the taste, and I don't miss meat. It's neat that I don't, and I'm excited to learn about this. And it's such a great organization. So thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Part of that. Yeah.
And before we get cooking, I'm going to introduce the star of the show. The other co-star with Lori is Teresa, the owner of Kitchen Collage and an amazing chef. And what you're going to find out about Teresa, she knows how to work with the recipe. Like, she really knows how to fine tune what we've got going on. And a big thanks to Teresa, because she's always donating her time for Above and Beyond Cancer, as well Jill, our master director for tonight. So early round of applause to everyone donating their time. And Teresa and I go way back. We used to be tent mates in various continents. So she still has to put up with my crap.
You still have your mittens. I saw you had your
I
mittens
do.
tonight.
They're a little thin, but they're still there. Okay, so before Teresa starts cooking, we have a couple of, we try to sometimes highlight a drink that could be healthy. Sometimes we get tired of drinking water. And so what you have in front of you is a sample of Mighty Mango and Berry Blast. I don't know if you guys have ever purchased Nakeds before. So I'll pass around the bottles. There's a lot chalked in here. It doesn't have any artificial. We'll start passing through now. Ingredients. And then Lori, anything you want to say about the drinks? I know that it doesn't have a lot of fiber, but there are some other stuff in there. Anything you want to comment about on juices in general, or drinking a naked juice, drinking while naked as well?
We're about fun here. There isn't the fiber in juices, but I think that they really have a bad rap more than what they should have, because it does allow us to get a large amount of nutrients in a small volume. And I think when people really shy away from all juices, what we've done in the United States is we've created over 50% of society is deficient in vitamin C. So while we taught them not to drink orange juice, not everybody replenished that with an orange. And what I love about the Mighty Mango is it is very, very high in beta carotene and vitamin A. Actually, vitamin C would be my #1 nutrient for immunity, because it keeps the lining of all of your skin cells healthy. So all your, the inside of your nose, your mouth, your esophagus, your lungs, the GI tract, and it doesn't get its recognition. And depending upon the season and what you're eating, you may not get a bright orange vegetable in every week. So this would be one easy way to make sure that you do.
The mango is great.
Yay.
Lori.
Yeah.
All right, Teresa, let's get cooking.
I am wondering if my Zoom participants have harissa as an ingredient, or are you making harissa tonight? Ah, right. Way to go. Okay, so that'll just change up my what I'm doing initially. So I made my own harissa today, and we'll talk about that after we get going with our chopping. And Lori, I was thinking of you because it added 8 more ingredients to the recipe. So we weren't quite to 25 because that's Lori's gig, man. You gotta have 25 things a day. As Inez mentioned, chopping is a big part of using fresh food. And so I decided, since we were just doing this recipe tonight, I was going to review on how to do a little bit of chopping. So if you would like to chop your onion, or perhaps you already have, we lop off one side, but not the root end. All right. And then we cut down the middle, so we have a flat side. All right. And then we have a big knife, not a small knife. And you can follow the veins, you don't have to. Oh my God. Brilliant. Brilliant. So it is
Changing my life.
well, it helps in that if you can do it quickly, maybe you're not going to cry as much. I don't think there's any real answer to that, to not cry, but if you can move quickly, because some onions are just built differently. So tip in, slice down. I think any root vegetable is real important in the base of a good soup or recipe. All right, so we've got some onions going down. All right, then all I did was my red pepper. All I've done is just slice it in half. If I was a real chef, which I am not, they will go down and take the veins out of a red pepper because that's where a lot of moisture is. And if you don't want moisture in your recipe, or you're very precise, but I don't care. So we're going to sweat it out in the pan. I'm not going to worry about it.
You just heard about having extra seeds.
No.
Because those don't have a spice. They're not going to.
No, this is a sweet pepper, a jalapeno maybe, or a ghost pepper or something. We're gonna get the heat out of the homemade harissa. So, and as Lori always mentions, eat your rainbow. The brighter the vegetables and fruit, the better.
Can you explain where harissa comes from?
No.
I
will.
It's like a
Middle Eastern seasoning.
Right. I am going to show you how to make it.
Okay.
So we'll get there. We're going a little backwards because my friends on Zoom have some that they don't have to make. But so we'll take up a little time here. Get this going so we can eat it all. There we go. So we talk about olive oil, really good olive oil. We like our really good olive oil. I'm going to have you taste some later. I have a friend who is from Turkey, and I buy his Turkish olive oil. And so he just sent his new vintage yesterday. I know.
You got connections.
Well, he sells it to me. I mean, he's not giving it to me for free. But, we could talk a little bit about how his business has been impacted by container. So we got some good olive oil going. I love the smell. Oh, I was supposed to measure olive oil, but I didn't. I don't know, whatever your recipe says, that's what you should use. And I don't know if the recipe says salt, but I
Yes.
like to use salt. Great. We're gonna sweat that out. Sweat it out. Sweat into the oldies. Part of the reason you use salt is to enhance flavor and draw it out. That's good. I got an onion down my sleeve. Hold on.
Oh, I just saw it pop out.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, and just talking about heart health with olive oil, really important reason to look at what Teresa has available is because 90% of what's sold as olive oil in the grocery stores is soybean oil. So when we're looking at heart health and we're thinking, we have all these people saying, oh, well, I'm using olive oil, they're really using soybean oil. So unless you know the source is from United States or it's organic, it is really soybean oil. Super important.
California and Georgia have strict
Right,
rules.
yeah. United States, it is real olive oil, but if you're buying it from Italy, from Greece, from any other place, grocery store, it's soybean oil with a little bit of olive oil added.
Which is weird because you think I'm getting it from Italy, so this should be good. Right.
Yeah, no.
Where do you think they were selling?
Well, also the taste. I mean,
Right.
I mean, the taste of olive oil is supposed to be peppery and kind of spicy at the end. And so if you don't get that, you got either,
You always
don't
have the
have
best
it,
of the
or my
best.
last name is Garachi.
That's the polyphenols. We're gonna taste them here in a little bit. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get just that, Rob. Okay. So help me, is it 2 tablespoons or 2 teaspoons of paste? What's it say there?
Tablespoons of tomato paste.
Right, okay. So part of building flavor a bit at a time. We're gonna put 2 tablespoons in. We're gonna brown it with the onions and the pepper. There we go.
So you guys are okay if we take a picture?
Sure.
I'll put a big snap.
Again, we're building layers and layers of flavor. We want to brown up that tomato paste a little bit. How you doing, folks?
I see Morgan cooking and Venus going at it.
You're gonna want to bring this to work. If you go to work, if you
Leave the house.
leave the house.
You leave the house, you're gonna want to take it with you. Somebody will eat the leftovers when you're done.
Yeah, that's right. That is right.
So how do you pronounce it? The red lentil. Is it kibbeh?
I say Kibbeh, but we could probably get Google to tell us. Katie, are you looking it up?
Someone at our total food correction.
Is it Lebanese or is it?
It is North Africa, I think. Yeah. EH.
I think it's kibbeh.
Kibbeh.
Kibbeh?
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, tomato, potato, patata. My mother used to pronounce fettuccine fettuccine and linguine linguine. She was Irish, so all she could say was potato. So pronounce it however you like. All right. All right, I'm getting this rock hot.
Yeah, it's
It's not a good thing.
I have to ask.
Is this like a Viking? What is this?
It's a wolf. And yeah, it's several years old. It doesn't really quite sit in there like it should, but it's fine. All right, so how much harissa?
2 tablespoons.
Okay. I'm not putting the cayenne in because my harissa has some heat. Yeah, it's got a little heat. So we'll do 2 tablespoons. And this is like a condiment. You can just put it in your fridge. I think it recommends how long you should use it. I'm going to show you how to make it. So we're doing 2 tablespoons. Put that baby up. You're welcome. I'll pass it around so you can smell it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Again, we're building layers and layers of flavor a little bit at a time. So I have sauteed onions and peppers in olive oil, added a little bit of salt, and I did 2 tablespoons of tomato paste and moved that around, kind of heated it up, browned it a little bit, and just added the harissa. Show you how to make it. So like Lynn, you'll know how to make harissa again.
That's right. I thought harissa was a dry
It can be.
spice.
This is olive oil and garlic. You don't want it. It's just recommended. Okay, now what am I doing? No, I need to do. Oh, I see.
Water.
Right, okay. So. Where am I at? Tomato paste, cayenne, yep. Okay, all right, yep. And then we're gonna cover. Okay. So I'll turn this off so it doesn't burn it. Just heat this up just another minute or so. Can you smell it? Okay, right. Kind of right in there, so. 4 cups of water. Bring everything off of that bottom of that pan. Just here. Sounds good. Here's what I need a wooden spoon. Does everybody know you want a wooden spoon to bring the fond off the bottom of your pan? No. It's sticking. The best thing to do is to have a wooden spoon that'll take the fond off the bottom of your pan. So if things are sticking and you're thinking, oh, we've gone too far and I'm going to burn it. It's not the case. Add all our water. Bring the stuff off the bottom. All those yummy flavors, maybe just to the edge. I'm just burning it. Didn't. All right.
Of course, if you need a good wood spoon, I know where you can get one.
Right, I'm making a list already.
Okay.
Just to be open when we're done.
Yeah, it never closes.
Good answer.
I always have the keys. Okay, so just added the 4 cups of water. And now we're gonna put in the bulgur wheat here. And stir that around. And now I'm gonna simmer this. Because I think, right, we're gonna simmer 8 minutes. Oh, shum. All right, I got a little bit of harissa still on my measuring spoon, so I'm gonna get rid of that. We don't want to waste a bit.
All right, then when's a good time for Lori to talk about some of the other ingredients? You want to do it?
She can now.
Okay.
And then we'll make harissa. So.
Fantastic. Okay, so Lori, anything you want to share so far about what we've been cooking with in this recipe, or any other recipe highlights?
Yes. The red pepper for nutrition has twice as much vitamin C as an orange, so it's an excellent source. And then, as she said, bulgur, it is going to contain some fiber and be very rich in the B vitamins, which again, very, very important for heart healthy. If you do need to eat gluten-free, substitute the quinoa. But what I find is when I'm working with people, paleo is quite popular, going grain-free or even gluten-free, that people over the course of time become B deficient, which puts you at great risk for heart disease. So with our emphasis today being on being the very end of February, but February, heart health, eating our grains, our B vitamins, really, really important. Most people don't know that B2 or riboflavin, if you're deficient in that, will cause high blood pressure. So as far as the nutrients that have already been used.
So does
The other favorite one that's coming up is lentils. Lentils get a lot of mention about protein when we're talking vegetarian, which we know fiber extremely, extremely important, because the average American consumes how many grams of fiber?
15 grams a day. Ooh, we heard 15. What do you think, Lori?
Take out a 1.
Oh, 5.
Only
5. And how many grams of fiber should we have per day?
20.
Oh,
25, right, 25 grams of fiber. And the fiber is what helps us create a healthy immune system. And the immune system we have just a little bit of, but we have a lot of bacteria. So we want the fiber to create healthy bacteria, so that when we need our immune system, the bacteria can let the immune system know, hey, you need to go to work. But the only way for that to be triggered, or to be triggered the fastest, is having a healthy microbiome, lots of good healthy bacteria. But lentils are very, very high in folate. So all the other B vitamins get a lot of attention, and folate sometimes, unless it's during pregnancy, just doesn't get mentioned, but extremely, extremely important in preventing heart disease. And it's in leafy green vegetables, citrus fruits, and lentils. So it's not in as many fruits and vegetables, so it's easy to be deficient in that nutrient. So this is just a powerhouse of a recipe. I think you're going to love it, and just so heart healthy.
Great. Awesome. Thanks, Lori.
so Lori, I'm going to talk about making your own harissa.
Okay.
So I have measured out and then already measured my spices, but I'll talk to you a little bit about, I like using coriander seed and cumin seed. I've already toasted it off, but the recipe calls for paprika, which is a sweet paprika that I use. You know, once you decide what your flavor palette is, you could use a hotter Hungarian paprika, but I'm using a sweet Spanish paprika. So there's 2 tablespoons of that. And then I have 6 garlic cloves that I'm going to chop up. And they're from my friend who has a farm. So this is purple garlic. I don't know. No, Sunstead. And then 2 tablespoons of, or maybe it's 1 tablespoon of ground coriander. But what I did is I used coriander seed, and then I toasted it in a dry fry pan and smashed it with a mortar and pestle. So
You said 1
tablespoon coriander seed. And then, so I've toasted that and ground it. I did purchase a tablespoon, or not just a tablespoon, but the Aleppo pepper you can get at Allspice, thank you. And then the ground cumin, which is a teaspoon, I used cumin seed and smashed it after I toasted it. I think you get a richer, deeper flavor. My caraway seeds, I had tones in the cupboard, so I don't even know how fresh they were. And then salt. So I have, I think, 6 tablespoons of really good olive oil. And I'm going to put that in a saucepan. You can do it in your microwave for about a minute. The idea is you're going to make really hot oils, so you have to pay attention when you're putting really, I think it's really hard to do oil in a microwave because it's usually at your face when you're opening a microwave, and when you're doing olive oil or any kind of oil in a microwave, I think it's dangerous. So I use a saucepan. So you can do it, but I recommend a saucepan. So it's 6 tablespoons of really lovely olive oil. And then we're gonna you could mince your garlic or purchase minced garlic. I am just gonna chop it up. And when you're using your knife, this is called the sweet spot of your knife. This is the sharpest part of your knife because usually you're not using it. So I'm using, to chop the garlic, the back side of my knife. And if you have a dull knife, bring it in, I'll sharpen it. Oh, cool.
And buy your knives here. They're the best knives ever.
I got Jesse their first knife from here. And they got to shadow the chef from, used to be Cafe de Scott, what is it, pasta. And they brought in their new knife. And I was jealous.
Yeah,
And I got it from
he
here.
would use it.
Yeah.
What kind is it?
I don't know stuff. It came in a box. So I knew it was fancy. You know what? If I do another one of these, I don't know if you come into these. Yeah, but I'll bring it. It's kind of like striations. I'll have to look around here.
You mean like, how often do you sharpen your knives, Teresa?
To keep a knife sharp, I usually sharpen them before I use them. I use steel to hone it. And if I've lost an edge, then I'll go upstairs and put it on the wheel, which is a ceramic wheel. So I don't know, I like to sharpen mine all the time. It's the only way to.
That's what my dad taught me.
Really?
Always
Every
sharpen.
time
Yeah.
before you use them?
Yep.
Wow.
He would harass my mom if she wasn't sharpening.
put 'em in
And
the
he'd sit there and he'd go,
No.
I always thought that it like shimmed off, or not shimmed off, but like shaved off this metal.
It's
No,
gonna
it
take a-
rebends it.
Yeah,
Kind of. Isn't that what it does?
Yep, and it's gonna take a long time to take all that metal off of this anyway, so not to worry. I can probably take off a little
Can you
electric machine.
Can you tell us what that pepper was again?
Aleppo pepper.
Like the town, like
Aleppo. Is that Aleppo in Syria?
Syria.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
turkey now.
Yeah.
And then how much of that and how much caraway seed?
What's it say there, Mary?
for Harissa.
Yeah,
How
much caraway?
It was 3/4 a teaspoon.
And you asked me.
And how much of the Aleppo pepper?
1 tablespoon of the Aleppo.
Sure. All right, I just,
Do you want to take a picture of it?
Yeah.
I can't let you guys
No,
pass
I
it that
gotta
way.
So I can go back later. and be like,
What is that?
So I think I made the first batch this morning, so I'm gonna guess it had time to season a little bit. But so this is. It won't take very long to get this oil hot. And the idea is not to fry the garlic till it's burnt, but to infuse the flavor. So here's what I can do here. I'm gonna take that off so you can see better.
I think your 8 minutes are up.
Oh, okay. So I'm supposed to add my lentils now, aren't I?
Yes, add your lentils.
Okay, yeah. Add my lentils.
Pepper and continue to cook, strain occasionally.
Do you want me to do something with this? Is there
Is
something
this
in
when I
here?
put the towel on?
No, not yet. So you stir in lentils, cover, continue to cook, stirring occasionally until lentils and bulgur are tender. in 2 minutes.
Okay, everybody at home, I just put my lentils in my simmered peppers and onion and bulgur mixture.
And does it make a difference what kind of lentils?
Lisa?
Oh, Lori, do you want to answer that question? Does it, are your lentils different colors, some better than others?
The nutritional value will be about the same. With the lentils, they're like, the green can be a little bit softer than the red. So it depends upon if you're looking for a little bit of, more firmness.
Lori, we couldn't find bulgur, so we bought farro. Is that
Something different than bulgur. What was your substitute for bulgur?
Oh, farro?
farro? Yeah,
Oh, okay.
That's good.
that's good. Yeah.
You want to share what the difference between farro and bulgur is, Lori?
Farro is a type of really firm wheat, so it would work equally as well in this recipe. It might take a little longer to cook. Yeah, okay.
Supposed to do that for about a minute, but this is hot heat, so I'm just going to turn it off and let it. So I know you can't smell this, but it's really intense. And when you heat that oil up till it's bubbling, it's frying your garlic, and you just want to be careful not to burn your garlic. So I turned it off after about 20-30 seconds. It's still bubbling.
Olive oil wasn't supposed to get that hot.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're burning off some of the nutrients when you do it. You could use grapeseed, or I suppose peanut, but I don't know. Then you've got a different.
Or an avocado oil.
Yeah, you've got your flash point's very different.
Yeah.
Did you say an avocado?
Oil.
Oh,
I think
Yeah.
avocado oil has a higher flash point, doesn't it, than olive oil, Lori?
It does. Or I heard her say grapeseed oil works really well and is flavorless.
Thank you.
All right, so we're still working on our lentils here. Put on. So for our home audience.
Burner's on.
Oh, it is. No. Just talk and turn everything on. Yeah, way to go. Okay. Anytime you come in the store, you can taste olive oil, but I'm gonna pass. I have a brand new Turkish olive oil that's really tasty. And we talk about, and Lori can talk about polyphenols that are in olive oil. So I'm going to have them taste 2 different kinds, and then they can tell me which one they like. So what's polyphenol? It's the peppery part. Or you want to talk about polyphenols? Okay.
Yes, polyphenols again are going to help keep the lining of your arteries and veins healthy and the lining of your GI tract. So super healthy, and you can only get polyphenols from food, not from supplements. Going back to food be thy medicine, that's one that is essentially only through food.
You are set there.
Is that enough for everybody?
No, we still need 2 more.
Okay. You don't have to worry about anything tomorrow. Or later that day. We do olive oil tastings. It's like, oh my God. Right. That's one.
Thank you.
Yeah, so this first one is the Turkish one?
These are both Turkish. You're gonna see a little different color between the two, and I want you to tell me which one you like. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about it.
Also, I want to say that olive oil has a shorter shelf life. So when you buy olive oil or keep olive oil again for a year, you're missing the healthy benefits. Because it does oxidize over time.
But I missed
And
that.
not to
but
keep
all-
it
That's a short shelf life.
by your stove by the heat.
Right, and you don't want it in a glass jar by the sun.
Mhm.
It becomes rancid very quickly.
Mhm. In a month.
I didn't try the other one. I think I like the second one a little bit better, but they're so yummy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not peppery in it, doesn't it? It's got some upfront stuff too.
Which one's this again?
Oh, yeah.
They're both so good.
That one.
Is this called a salt pig?
Yes.
Do you remember the salt pig?
Where's this?
The salt
Pig?
Salt pig.
Salt pig.
It's out of
I know that's what it's called.
England, and they're usually cuter than this. But, you know, a lot of times people can't, their hands are so big, they can't get in. They can't get in it, but yeah, it's just by the stove. You remember.
That's not your good salt. It's not your
the
finishing
forty
salt.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All right,
You like.
so how's everybody doing? I gotta check my recipe here.
Yeah, I like the second one better.
Okay,
The first one's
8 to
nice.
10
I mean,
minutes.
like
I
this
think
one
we're-
would be really good on salad.
We have about 2 more minutes.
Okay. Well, first lemon juice.
But then I don't know if it's thrown off. 'cause we-
Yeah. Right, right. Okay. How's everybody doing? I think we're coming in there. Morgan, have you been tasting yours? It's hot. It is hot there.
Spicy. Hot or-
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
Is that a seed?
I was seeing if the lentils were done yet. What is that? There's more than that.
What did you put the harissa with?
You know what? If you made hummus, you know how they always do a swirl of olive oil? You would swirl the harissa around. It would be really pretty yummy.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're making my mouth water.
Put it on sandwiches, eggs.
Oh,
On top of eggs.
okay.
Oh, yeah, it would be really good. Or even hard boiled egg, right?
Oh,
It's good. Yeah.
Okay, does anybody put their towel over their lentils and their? This is a old.
She say clean.
It is clean.
So what's,
I've never done that.
Why do you do that, Teresa?
It is to draw all the moisture that is remaining now. I've only really seen it done with Persian rice. It's a tradition that I've seen used in that culture. But true to form with Lori and Mary, we don't make our recipes prior to class, so we don't always know how they're going to turn out. We've kind of had, we haven't had any duds. We've had maybe one was like, oh, I don't know, we have to do that again. But so we're going to see if this truly works. But it's a way to draw the moisture out, because what we're going to do once this sits for a little while, I think 8 minutes again, then we're going to squeeze some lemon juice in it to brighten it up. You know, just like a vinegar or a lemon juice is gonna really make it spring back. And then we're gonna serve it on a lettuce leaf with this added a slice of lemon and a dollop of Greek yogurt. So we can get a little of everything going on there. So I'm wondering, have you all tasted your olive oil?
Yes.
Okay. Did you like this one or the other cup better?
I like the second one, the smaller.
The little white cup? All right.
They're both really good though.
So they are both really good. So here's the deal. They're each $25 and the smaller is the award winner. And
There you go. You guys picked it out.
right, and it's all cold pressed. So they pick it. As soon as they pick it, then they press it. So and they pick all of their olives. They don't shake them from the tree. They don't use the combine. It's all hand picked. So you know, just a little different. I know I've been to places where they have to use combines. They have so many olives, but it's just a smaller operation.
25 isn't bad then.
No, it's not.
What was the difference in is it the type of olive or? just
Yes,
the way
it is
process?
the type of olive.
So which one was the little green, was a little greener?
That's this one, the Aslick.
Okay.
And then it's cold pressed is going to make a difference in flavor.
Favorite.
Yeah.
You just rest on that tonight.
I hope nobody heard that. Other than class. Oh my God. Look at that, Mary.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my God, Aslick. Sorry. I sound like my mother. Oh my God.
And what was the other one, or what is?
The other one.
The other one's called Butler.
Well, one did have more butter notes, so.
Oh my God, Lynn. Okay. I'm wondering if anybody would like to try the Harissa.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This kind of stuff. This, yeah. Stir it around, however you want to do it. Oh my God.
And how long would this stay in the refrigerator?
It says 4 days,
4 days.
4 days?
Yeah.
but I bet you could squeeze a week.
Yeah. I don't think.
I get a gold one.
I mean, the only thing is because that oil got to that high a temperature, it could go rancid faster. Maybe that's why it's only 4 days, but
Yes, you wouldn't want to make a bunch of it.
It's like.
We have more.
It's got a lot of
We
flavor
have
to
more.
it.
We're gonna pour some on the, we're gonna pour some sugar on it there. They tell you.
Oh, yeah.
So good. Thank you for letting me try it. This is how we're gonna serve this.
Can I help you?
Yeah.
Here.
I can help.
Yeah.
Here you go.
So
Taste
really
this.
the toasted herbs come through.
Right.
And so it wouldn't be have quite that toasted. I'm guessing with regular.
Okay.
Dryer.
So my towel is really wet, Inez. I don't know, Morgan, if yours is wet. And then you can see it's drawn all the moisture.
Wow, that's pretty incredible.
That's great.
Yeah.
It worked?
Yes,
Let
it
me see.
worked.
Let's see.
Okay, what's my job? What would you
Oh,
like
I
me
need
to
to
do?
put, here's what I'm gonna show you how we're gonna serve it, but I need to
Okay.
put a lemon in. Just real quick.
And I think a little olive oil,
Yep.
And then
at
the
the
olive
top,
oil.
maybe? Okay,
olive oil, lemon juice,
And-
and I think
parsley.
parsley.
Okay.
So pretty.
And then you stir like crazy, it says,
Stir like crazy.
to bring it all together.
This is another fancy kitchen gadget.
I don't have, I just did this.
1 tablespoon of olive oil, parsley, and lemon juice. And vigorously stir.
She's adding ass-lick, she said.
Old lady. All right. Again, we're gonna use all this. Actually, I'll use some of this.
So I feel like when I was growing up, parsley was just to make the plate look pretty. And now like people are actually putting it in recipes.
Yeah, you can use it in January. If you don't have basil, you can make your own pesto with parsley.
Can I use your knife?
To do what?
Well, I just want to try it.
Yeah. Oh, sure, you can. We'll get you something to cut up.
It will change your life. Well,
Good knife.
Yeah,
The kiddo won't let me use there, so.
all right. I'm gonna stir like crazy. So colorful. It's the rainbow and it has 22 ingredients in it, Lori. I just made that up. I don't know.
So Lori encourages people to eat 50 different foods in a week, and variety being so important for the stomach biome. In that 50 of whole foods include spices and herbs like garlic and cinnamon. So every now and then I try to hold myself accountable, and I'll start at Sunday and I'll just start listing out, and hopefully by Saturday I've gotten to my 50 different things. It's kind of a fun little game.
Okay.
So eat the rainbow and variety.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Right?
That's beautiful. Okay.
so
I'm
what
gonna
is,
put this over here.
Lori, what is the official rule? It's how many ingredients a day or week?
Well, the microbiome study did at least 30 different plant foods per week.
Oh, 30, not 50.
But Terry Walls from Iowa City, who can now walk, even though she had MS with her diet, she promotes the 50 per week.
Where's the Harissa?
Here we go.
Well, this recipe has 23 ingredients, Teresa.
Oh, all right. 22 is what it said. Wasn't lying too.
What do you do after that?
Piece of lemon.
So put it all over here.
Ta-da. A little bit of, put your cream on top. We'll show the team on Zoom what we're doing here. We have
And
extra.
then I put parsley on top of that.
Oh, no. Yeah, Wolf.
All right. Here you go, team.
Ta-da.
We get to see yours when it's ready. Yes, it
Let's
is.
put lots.
It serves 46. My goodness.
Wow.
There wasn't a whole lot of food. I mean, thinking about how much food prices have gone up. This is such a cheaper way.
Okay, so here we
It
are.
costs only $35 for me to pick up all the ingredients, including the nakeds, which is probably the most expensive thing. in America. And you still probably have lentils left over, I'm guessing. Or did you use the whole bag?
Nope.
So yeah, I mean, vegetarian it was definitely a more affordable vegetarian dish. Where do you put that in?
So you'd use that to
Okay, does anybody have any questions for Lori as we're serving up our food? Any nutrition questions? Go ahead.
Hey, Lori, on vitamin C, how many, how much vitamin C should a person have every day if they're not getting it in their diet, as far as taking it as a vitamin?
60 milligrams is the recommended daily allowance. I recommend at least double that, 120 milligrams. Just because stress uses up vitamin C, you know, many different things. We know that it's hard to overdose on it. So depending upon your overall health, if you're using it to boost your immunity, trying, more for a medicine, then I recommend that you take 250 milligrams a couple times a day. When you take it all at one time, vitamin C will only, once it saturates the cell, you'll get rid of the rest. It is a water-soluble vitamin. So hence, that's why Americans can be deficient in it, is because if they don't consume it every day, you're deficient. The half-life is very, very short. You need vitamin C actually every 12 hours.
Every 12.
Wow.
Yeah, to have a measurable amount in the body.
Needs to be buying everybody's ibuprofen.
Thank you
That's
for
funny.
answering that.
Another little tidbit is that for vitamin C to absorb, you need my very favorite nutrient, magnesium.
Yeah.
And also water, like drink, if you're gonna mega dose or something, shouldn't you drink
What
extra?
can you do like the vitamin C and magnesium? What would be nice?
Did you hear that, Lori? That there was a question about hydration and water.
Well, it's a water soluble vitamin. So if your water means water takes it into the cell. So the more deficient you are, the harder it is to take it into, or the more dehydrated you are, the harder it is to carry into the cell.
And then
So that would be very important.
Some friends here had a question, but
Inez, did you have a question? Or Morgan, do you have questions for Lori?
What is a good combination for vitamin C and magnesium?
Could you come a little closer to the microphone? Otherwise, we're having a little harder time hearing that.
Combination for vitamin C and magnesium, what is a good food choice?
Lori, will you repeat the question? I couldn't hear that.
Okay.
We couldn't
The
hear that very-
combination, the question is, what's the combination that you should have for amount of magnesium and vitamin C? And there isn't necessarily a combination other than making sure that you are getting lots of magnesium rich foods, which are, your nuts and green leafy vegetables. Most people cannot get their magnesium needs through food. If you're going to need to consume 3 to 6 cups of green leafy vegetables a day, and make sure that you're getting, black beans every day and the really high. Sorry, this is my kitties, my new kids playtime. So it's not so important about consuming them at the same time, as long as you're not deficient in one to get the one to absorb, if that answered your question. Yeah.
Do you need another different utensil?
But very few people know that you need magnesium to get vitamin C into the cell.
Lori, will you explain why I'm leading you here, setting you up on a tee. Explain why it's more difficult today to get the nutrients through our food than it used to be years ago.
Because our soil doesn't have the amount of nutrients that it had years ago. And we also know the more pesticides and herbicides that we use, whether you're for it or against it, makes it harder and harder for our bodies to take out those nutrients. It just, where once an orange might have had 60 milligrams of vitamin C, is probably closer to 40 milligrams. And it really depends upon where the food is grown. There are parts of the United States that, for instance, have very, very low levels of zinc in the soil. So, if the wheat was from Iowa, it might be fine. If it was from another state, and I can't remember exactly if we're a zinc deficient state or not, but then those nutrients wouldn't contain the zinc, even though it should.
Thanks, Lori. Any other questions for Lori?
How's your food tasting, gals?
Good.
Is it a favorite?
This is very nice and easy and tasty.
What do you, so thumbs up, I'm hearing a nod and a yes. Morgan, what do you think?
Nothing can beat the butternut squash recipe, but this is pretty good.
Oh, was that the gratin one you're talking about? The butternut with the cashew cream gratin?
No, this was a stew, I think.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to think of what month it was because it's been a couple months.
You highlighted butternut squash a few times and, but yeah, hey.
So good.
Any other questions for Lori?
What's your kitty's name?
Milo, my daughter talked me into getting a kitten and having little kittens like having a new baby.
Oh, but it's so gratifying. I love cats.
Oh, I just wasn't quite prepared.
Yeah, we forget, right? Well, thank you again, Lori. So much appreciate your expertise, your great knowledge. Thanks for your time tonight.
Yeah, it's good to see everyone.
Thanks for joining us virtually. Enjoy your dinner tonight.
Thank you. You as well, everyone. This is a yummy
care.
party.
Bye.
Bye.
There's more here, folks.
Teresa, you did an amazing job.
It's like I'm like